Hey guys, and welcome to another episode at the Blancpain GT series together with WRT. And today we're going to give you an amazing behind the scenes tour together with Sebastian Vijay, who is the
Hello guys.
team manager of the whole program, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. So we obviously see lots of cars which are parked right now in the pit box, but there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes. So could you give us a quick tour?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
So yeah, actually, there is nearly as much or even more behind the scene that we have on the track, but sometimes you're not, let's say, involved in it. So let's go. We will go there. So first of all, here it's between, let's say, the area of the mechanics or the tire men that are working. So you can see already that there is some tire racks ready. It's a bit empty at the moment. Will be much more, let's say, loaded tomorrow for the race. So basically the conditions are not been really good at the moment at Monza, so we had to hide from the rain, but yeah, it's good. So basically we have a lot of trucks that we brought during an event. Let's say we have these two trucks, which are spare part trucks. Basically they are loaded. We can nearly build one or two entire car from the spare parts.
Wow.
So yeah. So basically first hand we have like a full suspension ready. So if we are breaking anything, we are already ready to fit in the car. Radio for the guys to be sure that they are connected with the engineers, with the drivers.
How many people you have in total running?
Yeah, today we are like around 18 mechanics and engineers.
For 3 cars.
For 3 cars, total crew is around 40. So
wow.
Yeah, it's bringing quite a lot of people. Spare engine, just in case.
Oh.
Hope we don't open the box.
Nope. Well, on the first race, I think where we can be quite...
Let's stay away from that.
That's true.
Leopard, our nice WTCR sponsor. Hello, WTCR guys.
Yeah, in 2 weeks we'll be going to WTCR, to Hungary.
Yeah.
So this is usually completely filled with all tires.
Yeah, this is completely filled with tires normally. Hello, Rick. Hello. You're online?
Hey.
So that's when the tire are processed. So the tire are already there. They put the pressure in. They make sure that everything is optimized for the tire, and then they go to this quite heating tent, let's say. So they put some temperature in it.
What's the tire temperature usually?
I cannot tell you.
Secrets. Okay, that's good, that's good.
But yeah, basically they put that for a certain time with a certain temperature, so we make sure that the tire are ready to be fitted in the car, so like they are ready to push. So actually we have one of the engineers working also on some measurement. Hello, Charles.
Hi. What's the longevity of a tire? Is it 1 session or?
Yeah, no, basically the longevity is around 1 full stint, so we use them for approximately 1 hour during the race. We can push a bit harder on that, but then for performance we try to stick around this hour.
Mm-hmm. The same goes for the dry and wet slicks?
Yeah, no, the wet are much more, you can get much more longevity on the wet. You can say the double or the triple more or less. Mm-hmm. So this is also part of the spare parts. So basically in all these drawers you can find some bolts and some small pieces. Unfortunately on the right hand side you already have some destroyed spare part. We'll see that in a few minutes in the car, but I think it's already ready. It's already repaired.
Mm-hmm. Now I see sometimes people actually washing the rims and the tires. Is this to reuse the rims afterwards?
Yes, the rims, so we keep them. I mean, we don't throw the rims after one usage, so we try to keep them all clean, just prevent to have any problems, any cracks, any leakage. So to make sure that we are on top of that, it has to be clean all the time. So basically, you put the wheel on the car, it has to be clean. You remove it, you clean it again. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we are there in Monza, so we are a bit lucky. We have some rooms at the back of the garages. So we organized that in two areas. As we say before, it has been raining, so we try to keep everything a bit warm and not so wet. So we have like a big piles of tires that we have been testing before. So like we have like 3 sets of the wet tire per car plus 5 sets of slicks tire for the weekend per car as well. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's taking a lot of place.
Are you all driving with one same compound? Just one dry, one wet?
So it's the HD2 compound. It's right down there. Yeah, that's the compound which is official for the championship. So this is the compound that every team uses. So you don't have a soft or hard. You can have on Formula One. Every team in the paddock, Mercedes, Audi, what brand? It's the HD2 tires from Pirelli.
What's up here with the brake parts?
Yeah, brake parts. So in GT, you have to be ready to change the brakes. So in endurance, normally for 3-hour race like Monza, you can keep the brakes for the full race. But for races like 24-hour Spa, you have a mandatory change. So basically, you can see already the pad and brakes are already ready to fit. So at every moment, the mechanics can change the brakes in less than 3 minutes.
3 minutes?
Yeah.
Also when they're glowing hot?
Even quicker, yeah. We try just try to don't get burned. But yeah, basically we have like 2 spare per car, so we could eventually change the brakes like 3 or 4 times already. So we try just to make sure to don't run out of brakes, and especially with Monza, it's quite hard. So just make sure.
What's the longevity of a set of pads and discs?
It could be around like, I would say 18 hours intensive.
Okay.
So yeah, pretty good.
What's happening over there?
So yeah, you have new mechanics, new engineers. So it's the beginning of the season. So we try to get them really comfortable with their hairpieces. So we just try to mold it, some silicone earbuds.
Okay.
So yeah, it's basically what you can have in the market, like for your phone and everything, but mold directly to your ear, so you can have them 24 hours on your ears without suffering. So Alex is quite busy actually, he's doing a list again of what we have broken already. So yeah, not the funny part of the weekend, but just to make sure we have enough spare as we saw in the track and we don't run out of the parts. So there, this is the engineer area. So not so much to say at the moment, screens are empty.
That's good, so we can actually show non-secret data.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what type of like data we're talking about here usually?
So basically here we have just the TV monitoring the screen and anything. So up, you don't see that.
Okay.
Now basically there it's where everything happened. So the engineers looking at the lap time, try to get the best strategy out of it. The driver which are not driving the car try to know more or less what happens with their teammate which is actually inside the car, and we try to have all this kind of control. So at the moment it's just before the session. The driver like Rick is having a look on the data with his engineer, just trying to make sure he gets his best performance on the next session. So
there's lots and lots of things behind the scenes happening involved. So do you compare the drivers together as well, like the data interchange?
Yeah, exactly. That's we try to get the best of the drivers. So you try to find the drivers that are doing good corners, and then you try to compare with someone that has some difficulties to try to improve the level of everyone and just to make them at their best. So yeah, it's quite important part of the job, and you have to spend the time on it because it's a big point of the weekend.
Now we have the cars here, but we actually missed one area, so let's go quickly back there. We got here more tools.
Yeah, so more tools. So basically there we stock all the big tools, so just in the way, electricals. This is the setup tool, so they're actually not in there because they're actually on the car. So as you can see, a lot of tools, same equipment, thanks to Snap-on. Really good time with them through the years with WRT. Really loyal sponsor, so thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, when you can work in this condition, helping a lot.
Absolutely. And then we have here some fuel.
Yeah, so some fuel. So basically, you try to keep the fuel out of the car because it's still dangerous items. So actually, you don't store so much in the garage. Just some fuel drums just to make sure the car is ready. But yeah, just the minimum you can have to be safe.
What fuel you're running? I saw it was some ELF.
Yeah, so
Core 50.
It's ELF Total for the competition, like 102 octane. A special fuel for the championship, so the same. I mean, every team is using the same, so just to allow a fair competition.
you're allowed to use the quick refill system.
Yeah, so that you don't use it during the race, you just use it when you are in the garage to put the amount that you actually require. When it's the race, you only are allowed to refuel on the fuel tower, which is outside, so we'll see that in a few minutes.
Okay, let's have a look.
So yeah, if you go back like this, so the tools that were actually missing, you can see them, they are on the car, on this one and on this one.
Is this CP?
Yeah, so it's part of the CP. So it's kind of the same as the CP system. It's just we are designing inside house our own tool basically. So like this, you have full control on what you are doing. So the car getting ready for the next session. So actually, we're just making sure that the geometry is all fine, all the setup is correctly.
All the corner weighting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, the final preps. A bit more work to do on car number 17. Let's go and check.
Speaking of the corner weighting, is this done based on engineer's input or driver input or both?
Yeah, the driver input is important. It's still really important. But you have all the data, all the simulation. You can all have the reading from the computer. So we try just to make the thing as accurate as possible. Not only based on what the driver feels, but what actually is happening on the car.
Yeah. I also saw that, for example, you run 3 cars and one of them has different wing settings. I think it's that car. It's a bit different angle of attack.
Yeah.
Is this again based on what the drivers prefer?
Yeah, and also about the run plan. I mean, at the moment it's way too early in the weekend to decide definitely. We are there to test, so we're just trying different settings, different configuration, just to see what's best. We are really early in the weekend, so it's just about testing and see and check the best option for the quali tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Because again, this is the very, very first race of the year.
Exactly.
Very first time you're running these cars. So for you, it's a lot of trial and error.
Exactly. For example, on car 2, as you mentioned, like Alex Riberas and Dries Van Toor drove together last year, but you have a new driver in the loop, which is Ezequiel Perez Companc, was driving a Lamborghini last year, drove an Audi in IMSA, so yeah, you need to gel with the team, so we need to adapt the car a bit to the liking of 3 drivers, so yeah, a bit of work, but yeah, like the others.
Yeah.
So a bit of work on that, you can see it's all carbon and shiny, a small contact in the free practice this morning, so the car is actually being re-stickered and repaired, so yeah, we'll be ready on time. So.
How often does it happen that there a contact occurs? Is it like a contact-sensitive series, if we may say so, Blancpain?
Yeah, well, I mean, when you have 49 cars on track, I mean, you can expect
49.
Yeah, more or less
on a small GP track.
So yeah, you can expect to have some contacts, but yeah, I mean, the level of driving is really high. So when you want to try to push on the limit, you always ended up with contacts. It has been a small one, easy to repair, so not a big problem.
In comparison with last year, because this is the new generation R8, what would you say as a team manager, what has changed for the better, or what has changed in terms of working with these cars?
So I would say it's a real evolution. I mean, the root of the car is still the same. It's just like you need to have some small tweaks in the setup. Also, the BOP is slightly different because compared to the other car, the car has a bit more performance as well, aero-wise. So yeah, basically you go back to the drawing board, just fine-tune the setup, and just make sure we are as quick or even quicker than we were last year. But about the general organization of the team, it didn't change so much, except that we got 5 new cars during the winter, so we had to prepare these new cars to the season. So it has been a bit busy, but yeah, no big change compared to last year.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Thank you for your time. I'm sure you have quite some things to do. I wish you lots of luck, and you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any additional questions, ask them away for the next time where we're going to be at. I think I'll be joining for the Spa 24 hours the next time during Blancpain. And well, lots of luck. And last question, the broken parts, what do you do with them? Are you repair them or?
Yeah, if they are not big damage completely, we repair them. If not, yeah, basically.
We can do a giveaway then maybe.
Exactly, maybe.
Good. Well, again, thank you very much and good luck. See you.